Welcome to Kat and Jess Talk the Best, where we're going to be talking about IMDb's top 250 movies from April 12th, 2018. My name is Kat.
And I'm Jess.
So today we are doing our Disney event, and this is the first movie. We're talking about Aladdin, which is an animation adventure comedy from 1992, and it has an 8.0 on 316,099 votes.
This is like my favorite movie. Disney movie. So I'm like, yes!
Yeah, you love this one, so.
So you can tell I picked it.
So the spoiler-free synopsis: when street rat Aladdin frees a genie from a lamp, he finds his wishes granted. However, he soon finds that the evil has other plans for the lamp, and for Princess Jasmine. But can Aladdin save Princess Jasmine and his love for her after she sees that he isn't quite what he appears to be?
Alright, so this is directed by two people, Ron Clements and John Musker, and they also directed The Little Mermaid, Hercules, and Treasure Planet. Those are just a couple of them they've done. And this stars, I'm saying four, because I have to say the fourth one, Scott Winger, Robin Williams, Linda Larkin, and Jonathan Freeman.
So the ratings: IMDb, 34.1% of users rated this as an 8. The 18 to 44 age groups rated this the highest. On Metacritic, it has an 86, and Rotten Tomatoes is 94% on 70 critical reviews. 66 were fresh and 4 were rotten. So 2 fresh. Michael Schragra. What makes this animated feature such intense, giddy fun is the eruption of uninhibited parody that Robin Williams provides as the voice of the genie of the lamp.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
I like Genie.
Genie's my favorite character.
Yeah.
Of all the Disney characters.
Jeff Beck. With its unforgettable story, outstanding voice acting, and beautiful score and songs, Aladdin ranks as one of Disney's very best animated classics.
Oh, that has wonderful songs.
Yeah.
And that voice acting? Whew. I mean, Jonathan Freeman, Gilbert Gottfried as Iago. Whew,
yeah.
Great. I mean, Robin is just completely, I don't even have to talk about Robin.
So 2 rotten. Mark All Leaper. A solid disappointment. Don't watch Disney movies.
Exactly.
And then Ed Gonzalez. Its ethnic white noise is really just an excuse for Robin Williams to put on the most elaborate narcissistic circus act in the history of cinema. So first of all, this guy is saying that this movie's too white for him, being that it's based in Egypt area and Arabian culture. And then second of all, this guy is making fun of Robin Williams. So my 2 responses to this are, this is a 90s Disney movie. Most of the actors are white. Second of all, don't make fun of Robin Williams.
I would agree. Completely agree with those. I was going to say the same thing.
Okay.
It's like, you don't touch Robin. You don't touch Robin. He suffered enough.
Yeah. So the consensus: a highly entertaining entry in Disney's Renaissance era. Aladdin is beautifully drawn with near-classic songs and a cast of scene-stealing characters.
Yeah, this is what?
This is classic Disney.
It is part of the Renaissance, because Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin and Lion King, all these hits kept coming out and out and out.
Yeah. This is when Disney just took off and became what it is now.
The 90s were amazing for Disney animated films.
Yeah.
I mean, we could just list just a bunch of them. There's one every year.
There literally was. So, the money. The budget for this was $28 million. The gross in the U.S. was $217,350,219. Gross international was $286,700,000 for a worldwide total of $504,050,219. It had 2 opening weekends. First one was a limited. It was in 2 theaters. It made $196,664. Its wide release, it made $19,289,073. And it was in 1,131 theaters. Its highest all-time domestic rank was 168, or is 168. Highest all-time rank, it hit number 12, May 2nd of 1993, which was about 6 months, 7 months after it came out.
Yeah, that's about right. Because it came out in November.
Yeah.
Of 92.
So the awards. I just did Academy Awards, Golden Globes, and BAFTA on this one as well. Because I felt like they were a lot of the same.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, for the Academy Awards, it won 2. The first one was Best Music Original Song for A Whole New World. And its second one was Best Music Original Score. It was also nominated for Best Sound, Best Effects, Sound Effects Editing, and Best Music Original Song for Friend Like Me.
I was like, I'm pretty sure Friend Like Me was nominated.
Yeah, it was nominated, but A Whole New World won.
The lovey-dovey song won instead of the awesome jazz hit.
Yeah, I like Friend Like Me better.
I like Friend Like Me way better.
So for Golden Globes, it won quite a few. It won Best Original Score for a Motion Picture, Best Original Song Motion Picture for A Whole New World, and then there was a special award to Robin Williams for his vocal work, and then it was nominated for Best Motion Picture Comedy or Musical, nominated for Best Original Song Motion Picture for Friend Like Me, and Best Original Song Motion Picture for Prince Ali.
Prince Ali's a good song.
I love that song. That one I think is my favorite song in the movie.
That is an awesome song.
So, the BAFTA Awards. It was nominated for 2, but did not win any. It was nominated for Best Score and Best Special Effects.
And I see Ashman's name on here.
He did the lyrics. Howard Ashman did the lyrics for some of the songs.
It must have been before he had been working on this, I believe. Because Beauty and the Beast was his last completed one, because he passed away.
Yeah. He had been working on it with... Because Alan Menken and him both worked on this and Beauty and the Beast, so they must have been working on it at the same time.
I'm guessing so, because they came out like a year apart.
Yeah. Well, that's all for the awards. I didn't find any fun ones. So.
Oh, darn.
So, initial thoughts.
Do I even remember the first time I've seen this? I've seen this I don't know how many times. I fell in love with it the first time I watched it, and I've been hooked ever since, so...
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was really, really little because this came out 10 months before I was born. So, the first time I watched it, I was probably like 2 or 3.
It came out the year I was born.
Yeah.
So... that says that. I mean, yeah, I love this movie.
Yeah.
I've always been a big Robin Williams fan, too. There's that.
Yeah.
Jonathan Freeman as Jafar is like, amazing villain. Iago is just great, too.
Yeah,
and
I like Iago.
No offense to Aladdin and Jasmine, but they get overshadowed sometimes. No offense to them.
I can see that.
You're competing with Jonathan Freeman, Gilbert Gottfried, and Robin Williams.
Yeah.
That's hard. But I love this movie. Favorite Disney movie of all time. Beauty and the Beast is like right there too. But Aladdin edges it out just a little bit.
Yeah, I like this one a lot. This is one of them that I watched quite a few times when I was really little. Like Beauty and the Beast, I saw it maybe once or twice when I was little, and then I've seen it since then. But Aladdin was one that I probably wore out the tape because when I wasn't watching Lion King, I was watching Aladdin. Yeah, I don't remember watching this the first time. I just know I watched it a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't think I have anything else for initial thoughts.
Nah. Just want to get talking about it.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
Alright, that was your warning. If you haven't watched the film yet, then stop listening and come back after you've watched it.
Alright. So, it's this long scene, sandy thing we come, and it's the music. It starts with Arabian Nights.
Yeah.
And it's this guy riding on a camel, singing. And then you see he's a peddler. Street peddler.
Yeah. This guy right here.
And this
Or
is
fourth
actually
wall,
also
fourth wall.
This is also voiced by Robin Williams.
Yeah, I did notice that too.
And he's pretty much trying to sell his stuff,
Yeah.
to the audience, breaking the fourth wall and all of that. And then he's like, all these different things he's trying to sell.
Yeah.
Like, this thing it tries to make, like, fries and it breaks and all that. It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then pulls out this lamp. And he's like, it's not just any ordinary lamp. It changed this young man's life. And that's when we get into our story.
Yep.
The diamond in the rough, as they call it.
Yeah. And we see these two guys in the desert, and they're, like, meeting up. So you know this is sketchy. It's the middle of the night. It's
Yes.
a great way to start off a children's movie. First you have a peddler. And there's some adult jokes in his peddling.
It's pretty racy, but yeah.
But then we got the two sketchy guys, and one of them is Jafar.
Jafar and Kazim.
I just called him Shorty.
Yeah, that's his name. I'll talk about the name differences from later.
Okay.
So it's a thief, and they meet up, and he's like, do you got what I need? It's this half of a gold scarab.
Yeah.
And Jafar puts them together, and the beetle flies away, and they chase after it.
Yeah.
And it dives into the sand, and it forms, like, this giant tiger's head just comes out of the ground and starts talking.
And he's like, who awakens me from my slumber?
And then it goes to, Kazim's like, it's I, Kazim, just a thief. And they're like, only one may enter, it's the diamond in the rough.
Yeah. So he gets like 3-4 steps down, and then the cave eats him.
Yeah.
So he's like, thanks for breakfast.
And then so, he disintegrates because, only the diamond in the rough can come in. And so the two scarab pieces are broken apart. And Iago has to pick them up, which is the little bird, which is with Jafar.
Yep.
And Jafar's like, great, now I gotta go find this diamond in the rough, dude. Or chick. Be either, bud.
Yeah.
He doesn't know if it's a man or a woman.
Basically, the diamond in the rough is the chosen one. But
Yeah.
I like the way that they said it.
Yeah, the diamond in the rough. The one, you wouldn't expect to do well. Probably some poor kid or something.
Yeah.
Speaking of poor kid.
We see one!
Yes, and this is the city of Agrabah. And you see, this is Aladdin.
Uh-huh.
And he's trying to steal.
He's thieving.
He's thieving because, he
He's
doesn't
hungry.
have much at all. And,
Yeah.
he's hungry. And so is his little monkey, Abu. They're hungry.
I love
So, oh, I know. I love Abu. He's great. And so they outwit him and they steal the bread.
Yep.
And they're...
The guards start chasing him.
Yes, and this is the song called One Jump Ahead.
Yep.
It's a good song, too.
And it's cool because he's just, like, kind of running all over the little market and the town and everything. And there is a little bit of foreshadowing in this, because there's one point when he grabs a carpet, and then he's, like, holding it up.
Flies on it.
Flies out the window on it.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of foreshadowing for later on.
A little foreshadowing.
Yeah.
It works, though.
But, so, yeah, he gets away on the carpet. That's how the song ends, is he, like, flies away on the little carpet. And he goes back to his... Or, no, he kind of goes down in, like, a little alley or something.
Yeah, him and Abu, he breaks the bread apart, but then he sees these two little kids digging through the trash because they're hungry, and they're trying to find something to eat. Yeah. And Aladdin, being the kind, sweet person he is, gives his half of the bread to the kids.
Yeah.
And then Abu's like, I'm not sharing. And he, like, takes a bite out of it.
Yeah.
But then he gives it to him anyways.
He's like, okay, fine. Because he's being guilt-tripped.
He's like, oh, fine, here. Yeah. And the kids, like, pet him on the head.
Yeah. And then we hear some music. And there's, like, a bunch of people gathered around. And there is a prince coming through. Prince Stuck-Up Butt.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what I called him.
He has a name. I always forget it, though.
I just don't care. But so he's making his way up to the palace because he's going to marry the princess, or so he thinks.
Yeah, trying to win her over, but this princess is not having it.
Yeah.
He calls him, what was it? Because he was trying to... Because the kids got in the way.
Yeah.
And he was trying to, like, whip him. And Aladdin's like, oh, hell no. Yeah. So he stops him. And he gets thrown to the ground. And there's a joke about the horse having two,
asses.
Yeah. 2 rear ends,
Yeah. That's what I said.
Yeah. He calls him a street rat. He's like, not a street rat.
Yeah.
There's that other song right here. It's just a reprise of One Jump Ahead.
Yeah. It's a little bit slowed down too.
Yeah. It's very short. It's not even a minute long.
Yeah.
It's beautiful though.
Then we see Prince coming back out, and the back of his pants are missing.
And like Raja has which is the tiger.
Yeah.
For a princess, has bitten the prince. And it's like these boxers with like cards on them.
Yeah. It's really funny. When I was little, I had this little plastic toy that was a tiger, and I couldn't decide if I wanted to name him Raja or Shere Khan.
Oh, that's a tough choice.
Yeah, so I always went back and forth.
I can see that. That's a tough choice. Ooh.
Yeah. But so Jasmine's outside with Raja, and Raja's just having fun with the underpants.
And the Sultan comes out.
Yeah.
That's her dad.
And he says that she needs to stop turning away all her suitors because she has to get married by her next birthday, which is in 3 days.
And he's like, I just want someone to make sure, I just want to make sure you're okay. Taken care of. He is still a dad, but, there's laws involved.
Yeah.
And she's like, I am tired of this. This is, I'm tired of being stuck behind these walls.
Yeah.
She's like, I've never been outside the palace. And she just feels like a bird cooped up in a cage.
Yep. And, so the Sultan goes to talk to Jafar about Jasmine because he doesn't know what to do. So he goes to talk to his royal advisor.
His royal, what is it called?
Vizier.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thought it was that. And he's like, oh, I can help you with this, but I need to borrow this blue diamond on your ring. Yep.
And the Sultan's like, no, that's my family heirloom. You can't have it.
Yeah, and so Jafar has this staff with, it's like a cobra head, and it's got these 2 eyes, and he uses it to hypnotize him to get the ring. So he does hypnotize him, and he gets the ring, and he takes it back to his quarters and all that.
That's a secret lair.
Yeah.
that just, like, says secret lair all over it. All over. It's written on the walls and everything.
Yeah, that's true. Because Jasmine, it's at night now, and Jasmine sneaks out of the palace. She climbs over the wall.
Yeah.
And then it's the next morning, and she's wandering around the marketplace, you know. She's this little kid trying to get an apple, and so she gives it to him. And, of course, Aladdin's watching this entire thing because, you know, pretty girl.
Yeah. He's distracted.
And, like, Abu's like, dude, focus, man.
Yeah.
We're trying to eat breakfast here that we just stole. Come on. Because they did. They just stole some melons. Well, melon.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to eat breakfast, and Aladdin got distracted by, you know, Jasmine.
Yep. And, she is, like, walking around, and she's, like, amazed by everything. And then she sees this little kid trying to get an apple. And so she gets it for him, but then the merchant guy says, "Are you going to pay for that?" She's like, "No." She's like, "I ain't got no money." And he's like, "Do you know the price for stealing?"
Yeah, he grabs her hand. He's about to cut off her hand, and Aladdin has to intervene.
Yeah. And he pretends like Jasmine is crazy.
Yeah. Because she's saying, "Oh, I'll go to the Sultan to get money."
Yeah.
And Aladdin's like, she thinks the monkey is the Sultan.
Yeah.
And so she goes along with it.
And bows to him and everything. And Abu's like, "Okay."
Of course, Abu, being the little thief, already has a bunch of things tucked away.
Yeah. So as they're leaving, he drops it all over the ground.
Yeah.
And they have to make a break for it.
Yeah. They do. And they run away.
Yep.
Which is nice. Then it goes back to Jafar.
Oh yeah, Jafar's little machine thing. He uses the diamond, and Iago's running on a little running wheel.
Yeah.
To power the machine. And he's like, "Can't we just wait for a real storm?" Like, no, we can't.
You're like, "No, we need to do this now."
Yeah, so...
I am not patient.
But Jafar's using the machine to show... He makes it show him the diamond in the rough.
Which is Aladdin!
Yeah. And then he's watching it, and it shows that Aladdin is with the princess. But it looks like he might have recognized her, because she's still in her little disguise.
Yeah.
As much of a disguise as that was.
It wasn't much of a disguise.
Yeah.
Really wasn't.
Yeah. But then it goes back to Aladdin and Jasmine.
Yeah, because he tells him, he's like, maybe I should send him an invite to the palace.
Yeah.
Then it goes to Jasmine and Aladdin. Aladdin's he's leading her back to his place, you know. The jumping buildings and all of that.
Uh-huh. And they get back, and she's, like, amazed by it. Because she's like, "This is where you live?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, it's got a great view." And then she's, like, upset by the view because it's the palace. And she's like, "I don't want to see that."
She's like, "No, thank you."
Yeah.
And he's telling her how she feels, how her father's trying to, force her to marry.
Yeah.
He's like, "That's terrible." And he's like, "Abu thinks that's terrible, too."
Yeah, except for that's not what Abu thinks.
Abu just wants the apples.
Yep. And so they're about to kiss, but the guards storm in.
Yeah. And then so they have to, they try to escape. Doesn't really work. And they get cornered, and...
Yeah. And she reveals herself to be the princess. And the guards are like, "Sorry, but our orders are from Jafar, so he's coming with us."
Yeah. And he's like, "You can talk with Jafar." And she's like, "Oh, believe me, I will." And it's like, angry Jasmine.
She goes straight there.
Oh, yeah.
But Jafar says that he has already beheaded Aladdin.
Because for the crime of kidnapping the princess.
Even though she ran away.
She's like, "I ran away."
Yeah.
He had nothing to do with it. Yeah. And she was upset.
Yeah.
But he's not really dead, though.
No. Raja comes to comfort her. which I was like, I want a tiger. I want a little kitty.
Right? I was like, can I have a pet tiger? Because that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And it has to be just as gentle as Raja.
Yeah. Which would never happen because it's a wild animal, so.
That's true. That's very true.
So there goes our wishes. Damn.
Damn, indeed.
But, so then we see Aladdin is down in the dungeons.
Yes.
And he's got his arms, like, bolted to the wall in these little shackle thingies.
And Abu sees him down there.
Yeah.
Helps him get out, and...
First
Aladdin's...
he makes fun of him.
Yeah. He's like, God, dude, you getting, like, upset, like, about this chick.
Yeah.
What the hell?
And, but he gets him free, and then he's like, well, just because I'm free doesn't mean I'm ever going to get out of here.
And then there's this old dude comes out the shadows.
Which is Jafar in disguise, as we learn, because Iago is the hump. His hunchback, he's the hump of the hunchback.
You know, that took me years to figure that out.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't get it the first time I watched it.
I probably didn't either, but the more I saw it, I realized, that's why he's in there.
Yeah, I'm slow on the take sometimes.
That's okay.
I'll admit it.
But he's like, Iago comes out and talks to Jafar, just like whispers in his ear and is like, Jafar, it's really hot in here, can you hurry up?
He's like, shh.
Yeah. But they lure Aladdin out with the promise of, like, gold.
Yeah. And they see, he has a camel, right?
Yeah.
And Jafar's on it, and Aladdin's walking him. And, you know, Jafar's, of course, leading him there.
Yep.
They see that there's the big Cave of Wonders, you know, the tiger head coming up. And it says, you know, the same thing, you know, who disturbs my slumber. Yeah. And he's like, Aladdin? He's like, okay, touch nothing but the lamp.
Yeah.
He's like, all right.
And he's actually allowed in.
Yep.
Like, he's allowed to go all the way in and everything.
Because he is the diamond in the rough. So they go down, they're venturing through it, and they see all this stuff.
Yeah.
There's, like, gold piled up everywhere and all of that.
And Abu's, like, super excited about it, so he almost touches something, but Aladdin stops him.
He's like, don't touch.
And, I mean, technically, he does touch something, because he touches the carpet. Yeah. But I don't know if the carpet was originally in there.
That's what I was thinking.
Or if it was just put in there, because I think it's the stuff that was originally in the Cave of Wonders that he's not allowed to touch, because that's the only explanation for why they're allowed to touch the magic carpet, but nothing else.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
Because I was, like, sitting there racking my brain. I was like, technically, this big implosion of the cave should have happened as soon as they touched that carpet.
Yeah.
But
I always thought that he wasn't originally part of it.
Yeah, that's the only thing that makes sense.
So, of course, the carpet's, like, sneaking up on Abu.
Yeah.
Because it's magic carpet.
Yeah. And
he's adorable.
And Abu kind of senses it. Like, he can tell there's something there, so he keeps turning around.
And, of course, carpet's messing with him. He takes his hat and everything.
He pulls on his tail. And Abu starts freaking out, and so Aladdin turns around and sees that the carpet's, like, moving around and everything. He's, like, super excited because it's a magic carpet.
Yeah. And then he, like, asks the carpet, he's like, well, do you know where this lamp thing is?
Yeah.
And so he leads it to the lamp location, which is on top of, like, this really big rock pedestal.
Yeah. In the middle of a lava area.
Yeah. And, like, on the other side of that is this big, giant...
monkey statue?
Gold monkey statue, and it's holding a ruby.
Oh, I always thought it was an egg. I was like...
It's a ruby.
Why?
Yeah.
I just always thought it was an egg.
I can see that. I can. But it's a ruby. And so, like, Aladdin tells him, like, stay here, don't touch anything. But Abu sees the ruby, of course, and he's like, ooh,
Yeah.
And, like, Aladdin's climbing up, and he gets to the lamp, and he picks it up.
Yep.
And then he hears it, that Abu, like, it's escaped from, like, the carpet's clutches, because the carpet was trying to hold him back. He's like, dude, don't touch it.
Yeah.
And Abu takes the ruby.
Yeah, he takes it.
Everything just starts, like, crumbling.
Freaking out and everything. So Abu puts it back, like, that's gonna fix it.
I mean, if I would do the same thing, too.
I mean, at that point.
Yeah. Or it just starts, like, melts. That giant gold monkey just, like, melts, and everything just starts, like, crumbling, and the lava starts coming up, and, like, all the rocks things are, like, going into the lava. It's crazy.
Yeah. So they get out, they get on the flying carpet. Well, the flying carpet catches Aladdin, and then Aladdin reaches down and picks up Abu.
Yeah.
And then they're, like, flying on the carpet, trying to get out of the cave and everything, and I remember when I was little that this part right here was a mini game on the DVD when they released the DVD. It was a mini game because I was super excited about it. I used to play this. Just called it as, like, trying to escape from the cave or something like that.
So they make it, like, all the way up to the entrance, but, like, the steps that were crumbled down, they, like, broke down, and Aladdin's, like, trying to hang on to the edge.
And Jafar, old man disguised Jafar, reaches down and is like, I'll help you out, but first give me the lamp. Like, no.
He's like, no. Hands it to him after a little bit. And he's like, yay, lamp. And then he's like, he's about to, kill him.
Yeah.
The big old dagger. And Abu
jumps up and gets in his face and everything and stops him.
Bites him.
Yeah.
And so they fall back.
Yep.
Aladdin falls back. Abu gets thrown down into the cave too by Jafar. And Carpet had got stuck under this rock.
Uh-huh.
And so he was able to, like, get himself out and, like, helped catch Aladdin as he was falling and Abu. But then everything crumbles down too.
Yeah.
And then it seals itself, the cave.
Yep.
And you see Jafar is just like, he's like, yes, I have the lamp. And he's, like, looking through his pockets.
Yeah,
he's like,
looking for it.
Wait a minute, it's gone. He's like, no!
Jasmine, we see Jasmine for, like, maybe 5 seconds here. She's super upset. And she's talking to Sultan because the Sultan comes in wondering why she's super upset. And she tells him that Jafar killed someone from the market. And the Sultan's like, okay, well, I'll talk to him. Like, that's gonna fix it. It's just like this little brief interruption thing. And then we see Aladdin wake up in the cave.
Yes. It took me a second. I was like, wait.
It's just like a little 5-10
like
second
a little
thing.
blip. It's a little blip. And so, it goes back to the cave, and they're fine. They're just, like, laying on the ground.
Yeah.
And they wake up.
And Abu reveals that he has the lamp.
Yep. And so he hands it to Aladdin, and Aladdin's examining it. And he's like, this is really dusty. He's like trying to read the inscription on it, and he rubs it.
Yep.
And then it produces, huzzah! Genie!
Yep. And this is where we get Friend Like Me. He introduces himself and everything. Like, introduces his powers and what he can do.
I love this song.
Yeah.
It's such a big, awesome number.
It is.
It's a showstopper. Literally. And I love at the very end of the song, and it says, applause. Flashing.
Yeah.
That always cracks me up. Every time I watch it. And I've seen this movie, like, I don't know how many times. Hundreds.
Yeah, I like the applause at the end. That's so funny.
It's like flashing. Applause.
And then he also, after that, he says the 3 rules that he can't do.
He's like, number 1. He's like, I can't kill anybody.
And then he can't make anybody fall in love with anybody else. And then
like,
he can't.
Mwah!
Yeah. And then he turns into like a zombie creature and says, I can't bring anybody back from the dead.
It's not a pretty picture. I don't like doing it.
Yeah.
And so Aladdin's like, he's like, wait a minute, there's limitations?
Yeah.
So you can't do these things? He's like, I bet you can't get us out of this cave.
Yeah. So he like tricks a genie into getting him out of the cave.
Without using a wish.
Yeah.
That was smart.
That was. Then we see the Sultan confronting Jafar about killing Aladdin, even though we know Aladdin's not dead. And also Jasmine says that when she gets married and she has the power, she's going to get rid of Jafar. And Jafar gets mad.
He's like, oh goodness.
Yeah.
And so he's like, ugh. It's like, alright, you gotta deal with her till she finds an idiot husband. And Iago's like, wait a minute. Maybe you could be the idiot husband.
Yeah.
He's like, what? He's like, no, listen. He's like, if you marry her, and then you can just kick her and Daddy off a cliff.
Yeah. Because you can become the Sultan and then kill them.
Yeah. Sheer splat. Oh.
Yeah.
Scared a little acting there. So then it goes to the little oasis.
Yeah.
And so the little oasis there. And
Aladdin's like asking what genie he would wish for. Like what would genie wish for? Because Aladdin has no idea what to wish for.
Yeah. And he's like, freedom. And he explains how with the genie thing, he's a prisoner technically, and he has to do whatever he's told to do.
Uh-huh.
And so the only way he can be freed is by if his master wishes him free.
Yep.
And so Aladdin, being the kind, sweet, caring person he is, says he will use his third wish to set him free.
Yeah.
His third wish. He's like, but the other two wishes, I don't know.
Yeah, he's not sure what he wants to do. But so he he's like, this is a funny part because Genie's doing something. I can't quite remember what he's doing. But he's doing something. Oh, he's making fun of Aladdin because he says he's heard that one before. And then he turns his head into Pinocchio. And that's our first, you know, in Disney movies, they hide other Disney movies, like references to them. So that's our first little Easter egg right there is Pinocchio. So he turns his head into Pinocchio because he's making fun of Aladdin. He's like, yeah, you're not going to free me. I've heard that one before.
He's talking about Jasmine. And he's like, hey, remember, I can't make anybody fall in love with you.
Yeah.
And he's like, wait a minute. She can only marry a prince. Can you turn me into a prince?
And so he pulls out a little cookbook.
Yeah, and you see Sebastian, too.
Yep, there's Sebastian. He says King a la Crab or something like that, and he pulls out Sebastian. Something like that.
And so he's like, all right, prince. He's like, you sure you want to do it?
Yeah.
He's like, all right. So he makes the wish. And so he, like, starts doing, like, this, like, designing, like, this entire outfit for him and all that.
Yeah.
So he makes the whole prince get up. And he's like, mode of transportation, monkey.
Yep, so he's like turning Abu into all kinds of different stuff. Which is really funny.
Yeah. And he finally turns him into the big elephant.
Yeah, and this is another Easter egg because he says something. He's like,
he says
Mumbo,
Dumbo.
Jumbo, a la Dumbo, or something like that. Like, this is just a big rhyming thing, but you hear Dumbo, and I was like, hey!
Yep, Dumbo's in there.
And let me tell you, Abu makes a funny looking elephant.
Yeah, he does. It's weird. But
yeah.
It works.
But then they're set to go to the palace.
Yeah. And it goes back to Agrabah, and this is right before the Prince Ali song, where Jafar is telling him there's a little clause in there in the law saying, you know, if Jasmine can't find anybody, he can she has to marry the royal vizier.
Yeah.
Which is him.
The Sultan was playing with some little toys.
Yeah.
In there. Their Beast from Beauty and the Beast is in there.
Yeah. This part is funny. This cracks me up, like, every time I see it. So, he's saying that, like, he's like, really? She marries you? And so, Jafar, like, he hypnotizes him. He's like, she will marry me. And he breaks, he's like, but you're so old.
Yeah.
And then, it, like, you hear, like, this big, loud noises and, like, the pounding. And which causes, like, he's been making, like, this tower of animals, right?
Yeah. He was stacking them all up.
And this is our Prince Ali song?
Yep, this is our Prince Ali song.
So, it's just, like, this big parade.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just a big parade. So, Aladdin, like, after all this, you know, sing Prince Ali. Great song. And so they march into the palace and everything. And it ends up with just Aladdin on the magic carpet coming in, really. Because all the other things got pushed out by Jafar.
Yeah. Because he's like, I don't want this guy in here.
And the Sultan's like, oh, well, nice to meet you.
Yeah. And then they're kind of, he's like, Aladdin's talking about how he thinks that Jasmine will like him and all this, that, and the other. And they're all talking about Jasmine and what she thinks and this and that. And she comes, like, she hears them and she gets all mad at him.
And she's like, I am not surprised to be one.
Yeah.
She, like, storms off. I'm like, well, that's true.
And throughout the movie, throughout the rest of this, Jafar calls Aladdin Prince Abubu.
Prince Abubu.
Yeah.
Oh. Jonathan Freeman. Classic.
So, Jasmine has stormed off and, like, now she's in her room and everything. And then we hear Aladdin complaining about how Jasmine's never gonna talk to him or anything now.
Yeah.
Because he made an ass of himself.
And Genie's like, why don't you just be honest with her and tell you who you really are?
Yeah.
He's like, just be honest. Be yourself.
Yep.
Giving really good advice, and Aladdin doesn't take it, of course.
But he does go up on the magic carpet to see her.
And he talks with her and all that.
Uh-huh. And he's, like, trying to apologize, but she's, like, tricking him into making more of an ass of himself.
Which he does.
Yeah. So she tells him to go jump off a balcony, which he does.
Yeah. And she's like, oh my god! And he's like, what?
Yeah.
And he's like, carpet there. Magic carpet.
While he's up there, Genie has turned himself into a bee. And he's, like, buzzing around trying to give Aladdin advice.
He's like, be yourself. I'm like, yes, the puns.
But she's, like, freaked out because he just jumped off and he offers her a ride on the magic carpet. He says it's completely safe.
He's like, do you trust me?
Yeah.
And he had said that phrase to her earlier.
Yeah.
And she's like, huh.
That sounds familiar.
You're like, he looks familiar and he sounds familiar. She's like, wait a minute.
Yeah. But they're just kind of, they go on the little carpet, and this is where we get a whole new world.
Our Oscar winner.
Yeah. And then we also get another Easter egg. We see, actually two of them. Up on one of the hills, we see the Colosseum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
well, kind of the Colosseum. It's from Hercules. It's the temple. That's what it is.
Yes,
it's just a temple.
That's another Easter egg, technically. I mean, Hercules was still 5 years away, but they had just started working on it.
Yeah, and then we also get Mulan's palace, which they hadn't even started working on yet. I think it was just an idea.
It was an idea, because Mulan didn't come out until 1999.
Yeah, so they weren't even working on it yet. It was just an idea, and so they put it in there.
Oh yeah, there's so many of them. Ugh.
But so they are kind of sitting on top of something watching the fireworks at the palace.
Yeah.
And Jasmine is talking about it, and she's like, too bad Abu couldn't be here.
He's like, nah, he's afraid of heights.
Doesn't like fireworks.
And she's like, ha! I knew it was you.
Yeah.
And she's like, why didn't you just tell me?
Uh-huh.
And he's like, he lies to her again.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, she gave you an opportunity to be honest.
And you just messed it up.
It's like, dude, come on.
Yeah. But he takes her home, and he's like dropping her off, and he's like floating down on the carpet, but then the carpet pushes him back up and they kiss.
Yes.
And then he gets back down to his, wherever, I guess his little guest room, whatever, where he's staying, and the guards capture him.
Tie him up.
Yep. Put a ball and chain on his ankle and throw him into the sea.
Yeah, like over a cliff. I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Alright. Because Jafar's there, too.
Yeah.
He's like, make sure he's never found. I'm like, oh, snap. That's dark.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's dark.
Pretty bad.
And so he's in there, and he's trying to get himself free, but he's wasting all his energy and oxygen.
Well, he's trying to get himself over to the lamp.
Yeah.
So he can rub it and have Genie see. He, like, passes out, and he passes out close enough to the lamp that the lamp manages to somehow magically fall into his hands.
Movie magic.
Yeah. And so the Genie comes out, and he's like, I can't give you a freebie on this one. You gotta get me, you gotta help me here.
He's like, just nod your head if you want me to save you.
And he just kind of, like, floats down a little bit. So he's like, I'll take it. And so he saves him.
Yeah.
And Jasmine's super happy and everything, but the Sultan comes in, and he's hypnotized.
Yeah.
And says that she has to marry Jafar.
And she's like, no, I choose Prince Ali.
Yeah.
And Jafar's like, he left.
Yeah.
And Aladdin's like, oh, hell no, I didn't. He's like, I'm here.
Shows back up. And then they fight over the snake staff because he realizes that Jafar is using the snake staff to control the Sultan.
Yeah. So he grabs it and he smashes it down.
Yeah.
And so they're like, are you kidding? Like, the Sultan's pissed because he didn't realize, because Aladdin told him that he was using that to hit, like, control him. So
yeah.
Sultan's pissed. Aladdin's pissed because, dude, don't just try to kill him. And Jasmine's pissed.
Yeah.
And so they're charging after him and everything, and the Sultan's calling for the guards, and Jafar, like, uses this little vial and, like, smashes it down. It's like all this smoke and everything so he can escape.
Yeah. And he gets back to his little secret lair. Well, first the Sultan realizes what Jasmine said, and he's super, super happy.
He's like, oh, yay, she finally picked somebody. Thank God.
It's like, finally, I've been trying for years!
That's true.
But,
yeah, Jafar does go back to his lair.
Yeah. And he starts to go a little bit crazy. He's just, like, laughing.
Because he realizes that... Because he saw that Aladdin had the lamp...
in his hat.
And he had his hat tied to his pants.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I know who this is. He's like,
yep.
That is that little street rat.
Yeah. And so he has a plan. He sends Iago to get the lamp from
Aladdin.
And
Aladdin's hanging out this nice little place, actually.
Yeah.
With the genie. And he's telling Genie, he's like, I don't know if I can keep this up on my own.
Yeah. He's like, I don't know if I can free you. I need you. And,
Genie's like, but you kind of promised me, dude.
Yeah. And Aladdin's upset and everything. He's like, I just don't know what to do. And Genie's once again telling him, well, you should have told the truth.
He's like, come on. And he's like, I can't. He's like, I'm sorry, I just can't.
Yeah. And so Genie gets mad and goes back into his lamp.
Yeah. I mean, I would feel pretty hurt, too. Someone promised you something, and then they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a big thing, like freeing you.
Yeah. And, he decides that he's going to go tell Jasmine the truth.
Yes.
And then he hears Jasmine's voice out in the courtyard or whatever.
Says she's in the menagerie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not really Jasmine.
No, it's Iago.
Iago?
Imitating Jasmine's voice, pretending to be a flamingo.
I'm like, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
And so, Aladdin's away. Iago goes inside. He's on stilts, too. It's funny.
Yeah.
And he gets the lamp.
Yeah. And Aladdin's going to look and find Jasmine, and he finds her, but she's like taking him up to the top of the palace walls because Sultan's about to make a big announcement about the two of them.
Yeah. And during this time, because Iago had given Jafar the lamp, Jafar summons Genie, and he's like, you're not out.
Yeah.
He's like, I am your new master now, and I want to make my first wish.
Yeah.
We have the Sultan?
Yeah, the Sultan.
Yeah. And so, then it goes to with the announcement.
Yep. And he actually does the announcement, and Aladdin and Jasmine go out and are presented, and the whole town's happy and everything.
He's like, hi. So awkward.
Yep.
Good old Aladdin.
And, Jafar kind of interrupts the announcement.
Yeah.
Because now he's Sultan. And, Genie takes the palace and places it on top of this big hill. Like a really big cliff.
Yeah.
Up top. And I really liked, Jafar's costume change. I really liked the white costume.
Because he had taken it from the original Sultan.
Yeah.
And there's this whole song, too, about this.
Yeah.
How he reveals that Prince Ali is really just Aladdin.
It's just, the same song. It's the same Prince Ali song, just different lyrics this time.
And with Jonathan Freeman singing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that. I mean, he also uses a second wish during this time, too. If I remember correctly. He wants to be a sorcerer.
Yep. And he imprisons the Sultan and Jasmine.
And he sends Aladdin in one of the turrets, sends him, like, where, like, this frozen wasteland or something.
Yeah, some snowy area. And also, he turns Raja into a kitten.
Yeah.
It's almost like a little stuffed animal version, but it's alive.
It's like, meow.
Yeah.
So cute. Ugh. So cute. And Aladdin's up in those wintry mountain area.
Yeah. And he sees that the carpet is trapped underneath the tower. So he's like trying to pull it out. He finds Abu first because he can't find him and he's like buried in the snow. And then he rescues the carpet, but as he pulls the thing out, the tower starts rolling, so he has to run.
He has to time it just right in the window so he doesn't get crushed.
And then we go back to Jasmine, the Sultan, and Jafar. And Iago is stuffing the Sultan's face with crackers, because that's what the Sultan has been doing to Iago this whole movie.
The entire time. And the Sultan is dressed up like a jester, and he's got marionette strings on him.
Yeah.
And Jasmine's dressing like, red?
Yeah.
Red, like, what would you even call that?
Skimpy clothing.
There we go. We'll just go with that. Trying to think of the correct words. It's not working. Skimpy clothing. Yeah.
And Jafar tries to make his last wish be that Jasmine falls in love with him.
And Genie's like, well, I can't do that.
But Jasmine sees Aladdin has made it back, and so she pretends that his wish worked. And, because she's trying to distract Jafar from the fact that Aladdin is there.
Yeah.
He ends up seeing, so she kisses him, but then he pulls back and he sees Aladdin's reflection in her little crown thingy.
Yeah.
And so he traps Jasmine in an hourglass and turns Abu into a toy and...
with all of the puns.
Yeah.
And then the carpet gets unraveled.
Yeah.
So many puns.
And he turns himself into a big snake.
Yeah, there's the fire, there's the knives, there's the snake.
Yeah. And Jafar is saying, like, he's the greatest, he's, like, the most powerful thing ever. And Aladdin's like, no, you're not.
He's like,
Genie's more powerful than you'll ever be.
And Genie's like, why are you pulling me into this?
Yeah.
Why are you roping me in here?
Yeah.
Because Genie's, like, trying to hide from everything.
Uh-huh.
And so, of course, Jafar falls for it, because Jafar doesn't know about all of the genie things.
Yeah.
And so he tells Genie, I want my third wish to be an all-powerful genie.
Yep. And, Aladdin is able to, while Genie is turning Jafar into a genie, Aladdin is able to free Jasmine.
Yes.
And then they run over and pick up the lamp and basically summon him back into the lamp. And as he's going in, he pulls Iago in with him.
Yeah.
And then everything goes back to normal. Like, we see Jasmine's clothes change back. We see the Sultan's clothes change back. We see, Raja turning back. And it's actually kind of cool. I didn't notice it till, I was looking at something just now, trying to find some of the other Easter eggs, but this one is cool. As Raja is turning back, he has two heads, because they're, like, doing the animation, so he's, like, the smaller head from him being the little kitty, and then the bigger head from him turning back into Raja, and the bigger head is, in the shape of Mickey's head.
Nice. That's
so it's
awesome.
a hidden Mickey, so it's kind of cool.
There's always a hidden Mickey somewhere.
Yeah.
Everything's back to normal and all of that, and the genie has the Jafar's lamp now, and he sends him to the Cave of Wonders.
Yeah. And, then it seems like it's maybe the next day, or maybe it's just the next few minutes or something like that. But, Aladdin and Jasmine are saying goodbye because they know they can't be together because of the law.
Yeah, and Genie's like, you can still use your third wish.
Yeah.
He's like, no, not gonna do that.
So he wishes him free.
Yeah.
And he's, like, super happy and everything, and he's got his goofy hat on, and he's ready to go on vacation.
And then all during that, the Sultan, like, sees everything and overhears everything. He's like, well, I'm the Sultan, am I? I can change the laws.
Yeah.
And so he's like, you know what? I'm going to change it to whoever she deems worthy.
Yeah.
And so she's like, yay, I can pick Aladdin.
Yeah.
And Genie's like, all right, yay, everything's good. I can dip out.
Yep. And so they say goodbye, and Genie leaves.
Genie flies away, and then there's the very end part. They do a reprise of Whole New World.
Yeah.
It's a tiny, tiny one. They're flying up on the magic carpet and everything.
Yeah.
Towards the moon.
Uh-huh.
And in the very end, it drops and you see the genie lift up the film thing, and he says, like, made you look.
Yeah.
I love that.
Because
the moon turned into the genie. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
There's one other Easter egg that I found from this website. They animated Ron Clements and John Musker and put them in Aladdin when, when the first prince is coming and he's standing behind those two guys. He's got his hands on one of them's shoulder.
Yeah. The
two guys that he's standing in between, those are the
directors?
Ron Clements and John Musker.
Oh, that's cool.
That's them.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I didn't either till I saw this thing.
Nice.
And then I think it looks like the only other animal in the Tower of Toys is Iago. There's a little Iago in there.
A little parrot.
Yeah. But that's it. So the music, we kind of talked about it a little bit. Alan Menken was the composer for this. He got started on Little Shop of Horrors, which is my favorite musical.
It's a great musical.
I was really excited to see that. And he did the musical stage play and wrote the music for it.
Yep.
So, he is known for Beauty and the Beast, of course. We talked about that with Beauty and the Beast. Pocahontas, The Hunchback of Notre Dame. He's known for a lot of Disney movies.
A lot of Disney movies.
Yeah.
There's so many. I think, out of all of them, like, score-wise, music-wise, I think Hunchback of Notre Dame is probably one of his best ones.
So, currently, Alan Menken is working on the Aladdin that is about to be released next month. The Little Mermaid, which was announced, it hasn't been fully confirmed, but it's one that they are contemplating doing, as well as The Hunchback of Notre Dame. They're contemplating doing a live action of both of those. They've both been announced, but they don't know specifications or anything right now, so they just know that he originally did that music, so they're going to bring him back to do it again.
I mean, he did do the music for the live action Beauty and the Beast, so.
Yeah. But they've brought him back to do all of that, so they figure they might as well bring him back for the two, The Little Mermaid and The Hunchback of Notre Dame, because he did those originally anyways.
Yeah.
So if they do fully go through with them, he will be working on those. So he has won 8 Oscars. His first 2 were in 1990. Best Music Original Score for The Little Mermaid and Best Music Original Song for Under the Sea. 1992, Best Music Original Song, Beauty and the Beast, and Best Music Original Score for Beauty and the Beast. 1993, of course, for this one, he won for Aladdin score and then the original song, A Whole New World. And then 1996, he won for Best Original Song, Colors of the Wind, and Best Music Original Musical or Comedy Score, Pocahontas.
That's it?
Yeah.
Huh.
He was nominated for some others. He was nominated for Tangled and The Hunchback and stuff, but he didn't win.
And no.
He was also nominated for one for Little Shop of Horrors as well, but he didn't win that one either.
The Mean Green.
But I really like the music in this one. I'm not big on A Whole New World.
Yeah, I'm not either.
But, I mean, it's not a horrible song. So.
No, it's really pretty. It is. It's got nice musical score to it. Nice lyrics. Friend Like Me is always going to be my favorite.
Yeah, I like Prince Ali. That one is my favorite. So, comparison. There's a lot of Aladdin things. There is the second one, which is The Return of Jafar, which, if this one had been animated like The Return of Jafar, I would not have watched. Because I watched Return of Jafar when I was little.
Yeah.
But I don't remember liking it that much. And then I just watched some of it yesterday, and I was like, oh my god. And then the third one is...
Prince of Thieves.
Prince of Thieves, yeah. And that one I think is good. I don't remember how the animation is, because I haven't had a chance to watch it in a while.
Yeah.
But I do remember liking that story a lot.
That's true.
But both of those were straight to video.
I believe Prince of Thieves is about Aladdin finding out he actually is a prince because of his dad.
Yeah. And it's also the one where they are getting married, but they have to deal with the thieves first, and that's how he finds out, because he goes to deal with the thieves.
Yeah.
There's the musical,
which I have seen. And there's some differences, actually, from the animated movie to the musical. They added, the songs they cut from the animated movie, they added back into the musical. And they created, I think, a couple new songs for the musical.
Okay.
They added a song for Jasmine. They added back High Adventure, which is a song about... Because Aladdin in the musical, and originally in the cartoon, had 3 friends. Omar, Babcock, and Kasim. And it's funny how they use Kasim in the movie, the animated movie, as the thief, when originally he was just one of Aladdin's friends.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I mean, it's a great musical. It really is. It's got all the original songs from the movie in it still. They added some songs. Back in, they added some original songs. It's a great show. I loved it.
Okay.
Friend Like Me is definitely a showstopper. People were applauding for 5 minutes straight after Friend Like Me. I mean, I was one of them because I love Friend Like Me. And I was so excited to finally get to see Aladdin. And I was really close when I saw it. I was 5 rows from the front of the stage.
That's cool.
And amazing costumes, amazing actors, a lot of great dancing. The new songs they added, I will admit, they were okay, but they're not amazing like Friend Like Me or Arabian Nights or Prince Ali.
Yeah.
But they're decent songs. The little quote I have here is the genie that I saw when it came to Denver is now actually the genie on Broadway.
Oh, that's cool.
He's a genie on Broadway now. Which I thought was really cool. I was like, hey, I know that guy.
That's really cool.
Yeah, if you have a chance to see it sometime or listen to the soundtrack, I would recommend it. It's great. Especially if you're a big fan of Aladdin like I am. That's about the differences really from the musical to the movie.
And then I know there's a lot of TV shows, or a TV show that happened in the 90s.
Yes.
I never watched it.
I watched parts of it. Only parts of it. But I didn't really get into it that much.
Then there's the live action that's coming out at the end of May.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And I can't complain about it too much yet. So.
Yeah, there's only the teaser and then the one full trailer.
And I'm not happy with it. I'm not. I just don't like the direction it went. And they messed with Friend Like Me, and that's a big no-no for me. That was my, oh, hell no. That was where I was no, don't touch my song.
So, trivia.
There's a lot of trivia we can talk about. A lot of it involves Robin, actually. So, Robin improvised, hours and hours and hours of dialogue. They just let him go.
I believe it.
And it was over, I remember 16 hours of dialogue, and most of it they couldn't use.
That's funny.
And he improvised so much in the movie that they couldn't even get it nominated for a screenplay.
Damn.
It was so improvised, most of it. This one I thought was interesting. So, it was originally supposed to be Jafar was supposed to be the more, like, hot-headed one, and Iago was supposed to be, like, the cool, collected one. But they thought that wouldn't make... They thought if Jafar was, like, losing his temper too much, it wouldn't work well. So they switched the personalities.
That's interesting.
I like that. It works way better.
Yeah.
What else? This one I knew about already, but it's a cute little trivia also. So every time Aladdin lies, the feather flies down into his face.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Every time he lies. Every single time. What else? Oh! The big old feud between Robin Williams and the original person from Disney. That whole feud about it. How Robin was just paid a scale for the movie. And that he didn't want that his voicing, he didn't want to use it for toys. And he didn't want his character taking up, like, a bunch of, like, the posters and all of that. But they didn't listen to him. So he threw a big fit and just, like, he's like, I am not dealing with this at all anymore. And so he pretty much, like, cut ties with Disney for the longest time. And they tried to make up to him, but he was like, nope, I'm not doing it. Then the original guy left, and they got someone in new. And the new guy's like, did a public apology, fixed everything that Robin wanted. And so Robin's like, okay, that's better. Thank you for that. And so that's why he came back to do Prince of Thieves. I said King of Thieves. Because the second one, he didn't voice the genie. But the third one, he did. This one is funny. So I actually have the original Song of Arabian Nights. The original version of it. And it's saying how it talks about where they cut off your ear if they don't like your face.
Yeah.
I have that original version. But in, like, later versions, they thought it was too barbaric, so they cut it. And they changed the lyrics a bit.
Huh. Because I need to listen to that song again on the Diamond version, because I think they may have put the original version back in the Diamond.
Jonathan Freeman, who plays Jafar.
Yeah.
Played Jafar in the musical. He played in the musical version of Aladdin on Broadway. He's the only one who came back. Because they're like, who are we going to get for Jafar? And they're like, is Jonathan Freeman available? And he was. And so he did it for like a long time. Which is really cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
I thought that was like... I was like, yay, you have the original Jafar.
Yeah.
That's what made the musical better for me. Because they had the original Jafar.
Favorite line?
Where do I start? There's so many of them.
Let me see real quick what I got.
It's like, Genie has like so many lines.
Yeah.
I do like this one. It's like, because when Aladdin's telling him how he's like, there's limitations on wishes. He's like, you know what? I'm just going to find my own way out. And the genie's like, excuse me? Are you looking at me?
Yeah.
Did you rub my lamp? Did you wake me up? Did you bring me here? And all of a sudden you're walking out on me? I don't think so. Not right now. You're getting your wishes.
Yeah.
I love that.
But that one's too long.
Oh, I know. But I love it. It's like... It's so funny. So funny.
Yeah, I do like that one. I got one from a song. I steal only what I can't afford. That's everything.
Yeah.
I like that one. You've heard the golden rule, haven't you? Whoever has the gold makes the rules. I like that one.
That's a good one.
That two-faced son of a jackal. Another one in the song. He's got the monkeys. Let's see the monkeys. I like that one. Oh boy, he's cracked. He's gone nuts.
Iago's got some good lines.
Yeah. Jafar, he's our man. If he can't do it, great! And then my last one. I'm history. No, I'm mythology. I don't care what I am. I'm free.
What's the one? I'm trying to think what it is. It's one of Genie's last lines. Besides the one you just said. It's, you'll always be a prince to me.
Oh, yeah.
That line gets me every time. It's one of my...
So what do you think? This one's yours.
What was the one you said about the Genie's last lines?
I'm history. No, I'm mythology. I don't care what I am. I'm free.
I've always liked those lines. They actually used those lines too when when Robin died.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So I think those would work. I like those.
Okay. So, what's your rating?
What do you think?
I gave this one an 8. But I really like the background, because that's something I complain about a lot in animated movies, is the background.
I know.
I really like it in this movie. Like, they did a really good job with it being painted. I really like the story a lot. I love the music. The character dynamic is really good. That's all I can think of.
Solid 10, people. Solid 10. Again.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. How can I not give my favorite a 10? It's amazing. I love this movie. Robin Williams. Jonathan Freeman. Good story. Great music.
We've got 3 more after this one.
Yep.
And our next one is going to be Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. So we will see you in a few minutes for that one.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.